I ever, in my wildest dreams, think of like my favorite movie and then create a whole big dessert bar around it? Like, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. But I like to watch other people do it from the comfort of my own judgy home.
I think doing stuff like that is fun, especially if you're just doing like one little fun thing like that.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Need to Know. I'm your host Gemma Stafford, cookbook author and the creator of Bigger Bolder Baking. And as always, I'm joined by the lovely Ami Shukla, who is the culinary director here at Bigger Bolder Baking. Ami is the softly whipped cream on top of my chocolate mousse.
Oh, yum. I love softly whipped cream.
Yeah, but have you ever had chocolate mousse? And have you ever had whipped cream on top of chocolate mousse?
Yes, it's the best.
You have to.
Yes.
If somebody gave me chocolate mousse, I would have to ask for whipped cream on top.
Yeah, you need it. You need it to like cut the sweet.
You need to cut like that fat to cut right through to the sweet. And
one
of my favorites since I was a child. Chocolate mousse has been my favorite dessert.
I think there's some of these old classics that just never ever go out of style. Like they're just always going to be good.
And you know what else? When you go to like France and like they have like 3 things on their menu and like one of them is a big old bowl of chocolate mousse. It's like these guys know how to do it right.
Yeah.
Just where's the whipped cream? Okay.
Speaking of things that never go out of style.
And on that note, speaking of things that never go out of style, we're going to move straight into hot from the oven and we're going to talk about sharks.
Sharks, my favorite subject.
If you have a 5-year-old, usually it is your favorite subject. So you might be wondering, what does baking have to do with sharks? But hear me out. It is Jaws' 50th birthday.
I love that movie.
Release released in 1975. And I'd say I saw it in the 80s when I was probably like 85 or something. No, I would have been that young. It would have been late 80s I would have seen it.
Yeah. I saw it. I mean, I saw it when I was a kid at some point, but then I saw it again recently, like a year ago or so, a couple of years ago. And I have to say that movie really holds up. It is so well done. It's, there's all this... I don't know if you knew this little fact, but they had some trouble. Little side note, not about baking, but I just have to share it. They had some trouble with the shark, the shark robot or whatever it was that they were using, and so they kept having to do this thing with the camera where they would just show the people's faces and their reactions when they're looking at the shark. They're like, oh my God. And so the whole movie, you're like, what is this? How big is this shark? What does this shark look like? It was brilliant. And, and then I found out that was like a choice made out of, because they had no other choice.
Yeah.
But it works so well. And I think that sometimes less is so much more, in this is a perfect example of that.
Or the suspense of like, oh my God, their face look really scared. It must be bad.
It's so good. So good.
Let me tell you why I'm bringing this up. Bakers around the world are uniting and sharing their love for Jaws and baking. So we have some great clips to show you here.
I want to see.
Anxious Fish Club.
It's a shark loaf.
They did a shark loaf of bread.
That takes a lot of work. I mean, how do you manipulate dough like that?
I don't know how you get the fin to stand up. Let's look at it again. How you get the fin to stand up. Yeah, this has 30,000 views.
Is there something in there?
I don't know, but how do you get that?
Is that an olive for the eye?
Yeah, probably. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that.
So that's a nice little nod to some Jaws fans there. Or a nice little nod to Jaws. Now, I love these cupcakes. People are getting really creative. Created the sea. I really like this one. See how easy it was to make that shark?
I have to say, this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of the kind of thing that looks so easy online. And then you think, oh, great, I'm going to go and make that. And then you take like 5 hours, half your day, and it does not look that good.
But watch how I love how she does the shark, because she does one big blob pipe.
Yeah. You want to
Here we go again.
You want to see how easy it is?
And then
that is not easy. I dare you to make that
hard.
Yeah.
But isn't that fun?
It is so awesome, and it looks so easy.
I don't know what you're talking about. She did that in 14 seconds.
I can't tell you how many times I've like seen something like this and been
regardless
I'm totally
of it's
going to do
easy,
that.
the video has 3.2 million views.
Yeah, because it's awesome.
And over 100,000 hearts.
We've already watched it twice.
That's true.
It goes down easy.
And I want to show you this next one. It's let me see now.
Yeah,
this with the water, is it?
So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Cakes by Rach. She took it next level. She did sand, she did sea, but watch this.
Oh.
She created a pool.
Is that gelatin?
Do you know what? That's a good guess because I thought it was colored water.
No, because the thing is,
Has to
you know how
set.
she kicks up. Let's watch it one more time. She's like kicking the fin, or she moves the fin like it's stuck in there. I think
Was that
she
straight
probably
after? Yeah, you're probably
no.
probably
She
right.
probably let it set. She probably like cut to it.
Yeah, you're right. It's gelatin.
Yeah.
Gelatin.
That's so cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Okay, that's my favorite.
People are so creative.
I thought it was like colored water, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's really
But
fun.
isn't that fun?
Yeah, I know. But do you think they would be delicious?
I do. I'd eat them. I would eat them.
The one with the gelatin?
No.
But it'd be fun, right? You could just pick
it'd
off
be
the
fun.
gelatin.
I really no, but you know what though? I like that. It was like something that was going on, something that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
And people are infusing a little bit of baking into it.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cute, wasn't it?
I kind of want to have a Jaws screening and make one of those cool cupcakes.
Would I ever, in my wildest dreams, think of like my favorite movie and then create a whole big dessert bar around it? Like, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I like to watch other people do it from the comfort of my own judgy home.
I think doing stuff like that is fun, especially if you're just doing like one little fun thing like that. And we all know how I feel about cupcakes, but I still love making them. So, I don't have to eat them. I also want to bring up a topic, which is dessert cafes. So have you heard about this new trend of dessert cafes opening up all over the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've been noticing this a little bit around us. There's these like wonderful, in Koreatown in particular, there are all of these incredible dessert cafes where you can get shaved ice, but you can also get these beautiful pastries. I just went to one where I had a croffle. Do you know what a croffle is?
A waffle croissant?
Exactly. It's like sort of like they take a croissant, they split it in half, they put like, some kind of fruit filling or like, some, matcha cream or something like that. And then they roll the croissant in sugar and then they put it in a waffle iron.
Oh.
And then it becomes this crispy, flaky, truly incredible thing, which I didn't realize was invented in Korea in some place. And anyway, it's amazing. But that's amongst one of the many things you can get in these places. There's also the UK has seen this huge resurgence of dessert cafes, ice cream parlors, places to get, and desserts. And what's nice about these places is they're not bars, they're alcohol free, they're open late.
Oh, they're alcohol free?
Yeah.
Because the ones
or
that
maybe,
I know.
Or maybe they're not, but like you can also get
cocktails.
Food. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can, but like I think it's not like, there's a lot of places where you want to go hang out somewhere at like 10 o'clock at night and the only place to go is a pub or a bar, or, it's something. And like, so where do you go to hang out where you can, if you're underage, if you're just don't want to have a drink. So you can go sit at these places that are open late. You can get a lovely treat. You can get something to share, and they have places to sit. So it's not just like a stand where you go and get like an ice cream cone and walk away. You can really be there. And I love it. These places are, at least here in LA, are always full of people and just having a good time. And now that I have teenagers who want to go out with their friends at night, like where do I send them? Where do they get to go if it's not at someone's house because it's cool to go out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine as a teenager, I would have loved that.
Yeah. When I was growing up, one thing I don't see in LA, which I wish there was this chain on the East Coast called Friendly's, just kind of like a diner. It has like, the food is not special, but what is special about it is that you have this menu that's like 10 pages long of ice cream sundaes.
I've heard of this.
It's so fantastic. And like you have all of these different options and toppings and these bright, shiny photos. It was such a wonderful thing that my parents would take us to when we were kids. But then later on, when I was in college and in my like later high school years, I would go there with my friends and we would go sit there at like 11 at night and get a pot of coffee and eat sundaes.
Yeah.
And it was really fun and it was just a place to be. So I think LA should have some of that.
I do. And can I tell you something? I think an ice cream sundae is so underestimated, especially when you go to like high-end restaurants and you get this like out of this world like banana cream pie ice cream sundae that is in this goblet with all the things. And
Where
it's
is
for, like,
this restaurant?
nowhere. I went to the Girl in the Goat in Chicago.
Oh, yeah,
And
I've been there in LA.
Yeah, and maybe so they probably do it in LA too, but I remember getting the most insane ice cream sundae there. And I think she did more than one.
Yeah.
But like I'm all about that.
Right.
And they're for sharing. They are over the top. You can get so creative with the flavors.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I think it's unique. I think it is easy execution. And not cheap, but like easy execution and fun.
It's super fun. And I think the problem with doing it at Girl and the Goat is that you don't want to go and get a big ice cream sundae where the food was actually really good. See, the good thing about Friendly's is like it didn't matter what you ate for the food. Like the food wasn't that good.
Yeah, it was chicken wings.
Yeah, the sundaes were like what you like went there for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I LA's got to have one of these places. Like,
sounds good.
Maybe that'll be, our next thing, Gemma. We're going to open up an ice cream parlor.
sundae. Yeah, do you know what? I've talked about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go check out some of these nice fancy dessert places that you've been going to. Where I have been lately, when I do seldom leave the house, the Studio City Farmers Market.
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting into that funny time of a harvest where we're getting towards the end of summer and stuff is transitioning out. And like what do we do with it all? And then also when we're getting to the end of a season of something, it becomes really cheap. So, in August, go to the farmer's market and pick up all those strawberries.
Yeah.
And hull them and wash them and freeze them and pick up your corn, tomatoes to make, your sauces. And then you have to notice, a lot of these vegetables and produce can be used for sweet and savory.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a perfect segue, Gemma, into In the Mix, where we should talk about some of the stuff, more specifically, some of the stuff you've been seeing and what we can make with it with our late summer harvest.
Yeah, great. Do you know, I will tell you, can I start this off? Because one thing, a vegetable that George will eat in our house is corn.
Yeah, we love corn.
Some people debate how much
whether
it's a vegetable.
Isn't it actually technically a grain?
Yes, probably. But people say because it's so sweet that it's not a vegetable or whatever. Yeah. But you know what? He's eating it.
Yes.
He loves it. And to him it's a vegetable and to me it's a vegetable.
Yeah, that's
otherwise fine. I have no wins. Give me a freaking win. But I do love corn.
Yeah.
Corn is naturally sweet. It gives you a lovely color. It has lovely texture. What I like to do when I'm cooking with it is I often won't, be it fresh or canned, I'll blend down the kernels to make them more pureed to go better. So like into my best ever cornbread. We use kernels, but I blend them in the food processor and it just gives you a much softer bread rather than big lumps of kernels.
That's interesting
And it
because
adds
I've
more
put corn
moisture.
kernels in cornbread, but I've never broken them down like that. That's a great
puree them.
idea.
I think you can use also creamed corn. I don't have much experience with creamed corn, so I just blend my own. I like to do things like that. You can have corn fritters, which aren't as really popular in America, but in England and Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, we would have these things called corn fritters, and it's actually a savory kind of a pancake with corn. And
is it fried? Is it deep fried? Like
no, not deep fried. It's just shallow fried. And it's a batter like not a crepe, but it's a batter like a fritter.
Like a pancake?
Yes, kind of. Not as soft and not sweet.
Okay.
And it's something that we grew up with. I definitely it skews kind of like from Australia, New Zealand area.
Is it like a side dish? Like
it's a main breakfast. You'd have it as your breakfast.
It's a breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
A corn fritter.
Yeah.
Like a Johnny cake, but with fresh corn.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Is there cornmeal in it too, or is it just fresh corn?
It's just fresh corn. It's not cornmeal.
Interesting. But flour binds it together. Flour and egg?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Do you put syrup on it?
No.
Or is it like a... Like
no, it's savory. Eggs.
Yeah.
And avocado.
Woo.
Yeah. It's a little bit different.
Great.
I know, I kind of threw you there.
Yeah, no, I'm all like, okay, it's like a corn fritter avocado toast situation.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds really good.
So then there's things like what I make is a savory waffle with cornmeal. Cornmeal is great to do for sweet and savory baking. We have a lovely, if you remember, a strawberry and cornmeal pound cake, which was kind of buttery and the texture was so good.
It was really good. Could you put fresh corn in that, you think? Like some of your pureed fresh corn to add another texture? Or do
you could. I don't think I would. I think I would just keep it because the cornmeal was to replace the flour. So in that application, I would keep it kind of something like similar, with like. I really loved that. Then like I said, I have a savory waffle. But corn meal is a great weapon, like a secret weapon to have in your baking, sweet and savory. So those are a few savory, but then you see things today, like in some of like our favorite ice cream shops, like you think about Salt and Straw, like not your favorite ice cream shop, but Van Leeuwen's here in Studio City. I'm trying to think of who else, but corn ice cream.
Yeah. That's a great one, as you can now this is made with fresh corn. Right?
Yes.
And it's like fresh corn, the sort of corn kernels and corn cobs infused in cream. Like you put those, I think you put the corn cobs and the kernels in cream.
You do, and you soak them.
Yeah, and then you strain it, and then you make that, and you've got this like corn flavored ice cream, which is so unique and different, and it really like highlights the sweetness of the corn, and you've got this other sort of buttery undertone flavor. If you don't want to make corn ice cream, you can also just shave fresh corn and put it on top of ice cream, or steam corn and put it on top of ice cream as a topping, which I've seen. I think I saw it in Thailand the very first time I saw something like that. And I thought, whoa, that's so cool.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of the corn-based ice cream. I think Jenny's does a flavor, actually.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's different. It's definitely something Kevin would go for. Kevin, when like during the seasons, would go for that more unique. And I'm kind of like, oh, just give me chocolate and vanilla.
You know what we should do? We should make a corn-based ice cream and do a little caramel ripple in there. And it would be like caramel corn ice cream.
That'd be good.
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
Now I want to do that.
Or you could caramelize popcorn, put it in there.
Yes. Oh,
that.
wait. Would that be chewy? Be too chewy.
Might stay crispy.
Maybe.
I don't know. Panelote, which is a Mexican treat.
Yeah.
Sweet cornbread with condensed milk. Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's condensed milk.
Like a tres leches, but corn
but with a
meals.
corn base.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And one thing that I am a very big fan of, because going back to like I'm a big fan of textures, is a spoon bread, which is a very traditional, I think, American recipe, more southern. And it is kind of not when I say pudding, I don't mean like a dessert pudding,
right?
But I mean like a very soft, almost like cornbread with a layer of kind of cream on top, and then you bake it and you spoon it. No, it's savory. It's kind of like a side dish. And you would spoon, and it's like a spoon thing, that they call it spoon bread.
Yeah.
So it is similar to a very soft bread, and then you spoon it onto your plate.
Thicker than grits.
Yes, more set. And then it has a layer of kind of cream on top.
Oh, that sounds very good. I feel like you could turn that into a dessert really easily.
Probably.
Yeah, that sounds really yummy.
That's so nice.
Yes, I think I'm going to have to do some experimenting with corn. But then, okay, so now I want to talk about carrots, which I know we all know about carrot cake and carrot muffins. And I remember with the second book that I worked with you on, we did a carrot marmalade loaf.
Yes.
That was
which
amazing.
I have to say, when it comes to combinations of like flavors, I always get a little bit like stuck in my head, but I'm particularly proud of that one.
Yes.
Because it was so delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was perfect.
It was so good. Now, the one thing that always gets on my nerves with carrots is having to grate them. And I know it doesn't really take that long, but it feels like it takes a long time. Like I will just not make I won't make anything with carrots because I'm like, oh, I don't want to shred the carrots. And it's, 2 minutes out of my life, and yet somehow I don't want to do it. So I then came across this recipe that I have not yet had a chance to try, but it's a Brazilian style carrot cake. Have you heard of this?
No.
You throw raw carrots with all of your other ingredients in a blender, and you blend it up until it's this puree, and then you bake it. I guess then you fold in flour and eggs and whatnot, and then you end up baking it, and it turns into this like sort of solid, not solid, but but like it just like, as opposed to seeing shreds of carrot throughout, it has this other like kind of very uniform bright orange color, and it sounds like the whole idea of like I know no one really wants to turn on their oven in the summer, but even if you do, like maybe if you have less time in the kitchen because you can throw things in a blender and pour it into a pan and then walk away, like that sounds great. So something for us to put a pin in.
I don't disagree with you there. I have a recipe actually from book 2 also, and it's on my website, carrot cake pancakes. Same deal, carrots blended up with all the wet ingredients.
Oh, yeah, so that's
and
basically
people love
the same
it.
idea.
Yeah, so same idea.
Yeah.
I do not hand peel carrots. I do it in my food processor. I tell you to do the same.
Yes.
Because I just think it's crazy. But here, I have a question for you.
But then you have to wash the whole food processor, which is annoying too.
That's true, but I just leave it there for you to wash. Ami, I have a question for you. Do you peel carrots before you grate them?
I never did until you told me that it created this like sort of other flavor, this off flavor.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I was ever aware of it until you said it. And now, yes, on top of grating the carrots, I do have to now peel them, and it's your fault.
I can't believe it wasn't. You're not the first person I saw. I remember one day thinking, did she peel those carrots? But before, years ago, working, I don't know where I was, but I noticed people weren't peeling their carrots to grate them. Mm-hmm. But you have the flavor up. There's a flavor from the skin.
Yes.
And it's not, I'm not talking about dirt or anything like that. There's a flavor from the outside of the skin. And it just blew my mind that people thought it was okay not to peel carrots.
Right.
And then before you grated them. I think I worked with somebody at one point that was just like, you don't have to do that. And I was like, oh, yes, you do. And I see it in recipes written down. And for your own sake, peel the carrots and grate them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely gives it a bit of a more refined flavor. You have a different color. I mean, I think in a carrot cake, visually, you're not really going to see it. But if you have a side-by-side taste, it's a subtle difference, but there's a difference. And
I would know.
Yeah, you would know for sure. It's not subtle to Gemma. If anyone's ever making a dessert for Gemma, she would know.
I think everybody knows not to bring me a present or make me anything.
Oh, but the last thing I want to say about carrots is, you can make a carrot souffle too.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Like you can you steam the carrots, you puree them. There's recipes you can find online. They're beautiful, lovely, unexpected dessert. So that's another nice thing to do with vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in our garden, I've shared this on social media, little videos of George. So we have a little garden. George has loved to garden since he could walk. So we have a little garden. We have tomato. Well, we don't have tomatoes. We have tomato plant. I have a raspberry plant. I have strawberry plants. I have a blueberry plant, and then we have some other stuff: watermelon, squash, cucumber. My trick is to buy now the plants when they have fruit and vegetables on them, so at least we get something.
Right.
And then after that, when they've been taken off on the first day, then that's on him. I don't know what to do after that. But we try and keep them alive. We try and get as much fruit out of them as we can. We have a tomato plant that's actually growing.
Yes.
And if there's a squirrel in our garden called Nuts, George called him Nuts. If he doesn't get our tomatoes, we'll be doing well. But I do, especially at this time of year, is the time to stockpile. Number one, I just heard on the news today that tomato tariffs, prices of tomatoes are going up. I don't use a ton of tomatoes, but apparently it's one of like the second biggest vegetables to be consumed in the US.
Really?
Tomato. So it's a good time now because it's just leaving the season to freeze them. You can freeze them whole.
Yeah.
Start to cook them down and make sauces. Freeze your sauces, can them, get into canning. If you're an expert canner, that can be a little bit tricky for me. Those are kind of things are really good to do. What I like to do at this time of year is I make this really nice tomato jam, and for a cheese board. And it's tomatoes and chilies, sugar, like any kind of it's chutney. It's a chutney vibe.
Yeah.
It's not tomatoes and sugar.
Right.
It's a chutney vibe. So we have vinegar, we have dark sugar. There's also some fish sauce in there. We have chilies, we have garlic, we have ginger.
It sounds really good.
It's so good. And then you have it. I like to do it on pasteurized goat's cheese. Really delicious. Super yummy. A great way to preserve tomatoes.
Yeah. Can you can that? Can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to can it because it is preserved with the sugar and the vinegar. Keep it in the fridge; it lasts forever. I keep mine in the fridge. You might not even have to keep it in the fridge. If you want to go the extra step to make sure it stays fresh, you can do the canning thing.
Right.
That's not really for me. And I remember we did before about freezer canning. So shove it in your freezer if you have the luxury of space. That's something I love to do. And then there's things like moles, like making moles with chocolate.
Moles have tomato in them?
Yeah. It's a tomato-based sauce with chocolate.
I for some reason thought it was, I've never made a mole, so what do I know?
So tomato being actually a fruit and not a vegetable, we do tend to pair it with savory ingredients, but don't forget, while in peak season, burrata, slices of peaches with some prosciutto, some balsamic vinegar, figs, heirloom tomatoes with some soft cheese, a buttermilk dressing, like all of those things.
Sure.
Some of the nicest things you will eat. I have a lovely recipe for a ricotta and tomato galette on the website. Do you remember that on biggerbolderbaking.com?
Oh, absolutely. I was just going to say, let's not forget about tomato tarts. They're so good. Yeah.
So here's something that's really creative when it comes to tomatoes, a viral savory tomato cake. And this actually debuted at the cake picnic that we talked about a few weeks ago.
I saw this. Yeah, this was amazing. Like I saw it and I was like, ooh, a tomato flavor. But then it turns out it's savory.
So we're going to show the video here. It's not technically a cake. Let me tell you what they started from. They made a focaccia in a round cake pan. Beautiful, big, bubbly, hot focaccia. They covered, they did cream cheese and creme fraiche kind of like icing, I say icing, use that term loosely, coating. And they put some pickled peppers in there. It's all very savory.
And the focaccia dough itself had the tomatoes.
And had tomatoes in it. And then I think the frosting had also some tomatoes in it. And then they got some vine tomatoes and put it all over and decorated like you would any kind of a cake.
Beautiful.
And decorated it and then brought it to the cake picnic.
I love that. And I feel like for all of the beautiful cakes that people were eating, like how nice to have something a little savory to go along with.
Gorgeous. It really stood out.
Idea.
Isn't that so awesome?
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah. So with our we have a little bit of time in our section here, Gemma, and I just want to make sure that we talk about peas. Now, that was
you couldn't even sell that one on me.
All right, so
let her go again. Up from the top, Ami. Peas.
Okay.
Do jazz hands. Jazz hands will help.
Peas. Okay. So, Gemma, for our last vegetable, I just want to talk about fresh peas, which are all over the market right now. Snap peas, English peas. And they are so sweet and delicious. And you can, it's something that, like, I always think about peas as a little side dish that you have on your plate, but you can also bake with it. And in a savory way, you can make just a fresh pea tart, or you take some puff pastry or some pie crust, you puree some fresh peas, you lay that on the tart, maybe you put some goat cheese or ricotta and fresh mint, any kind of fresh herb you can find at the market. You bake that, just 20 minutes for the pastry to cook up, and it becomes this wonderful appetizer or, light main dinner with a side salad. So that's really nice. But the other thing that I've seen lately is a fresh pea cake, like a sweet cake.
Okay, so tell me about that.
So there's this recipe that I found online, and you have a puree of fresh peas, and then you mix it into your regular cake batter, eggs, oil, butter, whatever it is. And then you use just a vanilla frosting, and make this lovely green layer cake that's beautiful, and it feels fresh and light, and it has this sort of sweet and maybe ever so slightly earthy flavor from the peas, but I think in a really wonderful and unexpected way. So I think, along with your savory tomato cake, you've got this like sweet pea cake. I think it would really surprise people. And be a wonderful thing.
Well, peas have such a lovely natural sweetness to them.
Yeah.
And freshness.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just think about like in a savory sense, you have peas and butter, like a classic combination. So just like a sweet pea cake with a vanilla buttercream that's like, you know, just with a little touch of salt on that.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be really good.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I make it, you'll try it.
Totally on board.
Like you think it might
I'll go more for the tomato cake.
You go for the tomato.
Because it's bread. And not cake.
Yeah, but you know, it's I don't know. I think also like flavor pairings for peas. You know, mint is like a thing, but you can also mix it with citrus or honey, fennel,
Honey
nutmeg.
would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really
cheeses.
you know, black pepper, like a little spice to kind of counteract the sweetness.
Bacon.
Yeah. Bacon.
Quiche. Yeah. Peas on a pizza with bacon, with lardons and some creme fraiche.
See, now I need
now that's what I want.
Move
over cake. I want that.
Well, I love taking these vegetables that we, you know, and thinking about them in a different way.
Yeah.
Like all of these, you know, it's especially because they're so sweet. Like we don't think about vegetables as being really sweet, but especially now with everything, you know, at their peak ripeness, everything's so delicious.
Yeah, agreed. Now is the time to get it. It's plentiful. It's cheap. Can them, freeze them, jar them, you know, stock up. That's what I always do.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Ami, we're going to move into the Bold Baking Hotline. And this question is for you. It is about herbs from Jane. She says, my herbs are growing like crazy and I just can't use them fast enough. Any ideas?
Oh, yeah. I have lots of ideas.
Great.
Well, first, you can make a compound butter. Which is, so you take butter, you take your fresh herbs, whichever ones you pulverize the fresh herbs or you chop them up really well, you mix them with some softened butter. And if the butter's not salted, it's nice to put a little pinch of salt in the butter as well. If it's salted, you don't have to do anything else. And then you've got this like lovely butter. You can have like a tarragon butter that you know, put a little pat of on a steak or a piece of fish. You can have basil butter, any kind of herb. You can combine herbs if you like those herbs. That can go in your freezer and you can, you know, pull that out whenever you want that. So that's one option. Another thing that you can do is you can take fresh herbs, clean them well. You put them in your blender with you know, depending on, you know, with a good amount of kosher salt. And you blend them up and the salt will sort of preserve those vegetables. And then you can take like a tablespoon or two and use them in place of a stock in a soup. That will last, you know, I've done that with parsley. You know, I've done like an entire bunch of parsley in a cup of salt and blended that up and put it in a jar in my fridge for, you know, a month. And then, yeah, like you know, it's pretty salty, you know, and herby. So then you put that in a pot of water or something, and you've got this like flavored water. It's a wonderful way to preserve herbs.
Oh.
Number 3, also tie up your herbs and then hang them somewhere upside down from a knob in your cabinet or from a windowsill or something. That'll dry them out, and then you can crumble those dried herbs and put them in jars, and you've got this really fresh, really flavorful dried herbs.
Yeah, the one thing is those are all great tips. The one you said about drying herbs is interesting because you would think fresh is best. The color is bright and you know, the flavor of fresh is so lovely. But when it comes to actually drying out something, you're removing the water, you're concentrating the flavor. So technically, so actually, people don't know that dried herbs can have a more intense flavor than fresh herbs. Now, there are two different flavors. Dried dill tastes different to fresh dill, but they are great to have.
Right. Oh, and the last final thing, certain herbs that get very stocky, like mint, you know, mint can like kind of grow up straight up. Cut them up and put them in a bouquet. Just put them in a vase of water and like they can make your kitchen table look beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of the question that I have. My question would be, like my herbs look like, I can't even grow rosemary. You know the way like you look around LA and there's bushes of rosemary?
Yeah.
Like I can't grow rosemary. At one point I stopped watering it because I just thought like this, I can't deal with this anymore. It's just dead. And it came back to life because I ignored it.
Oh, so you were overwatering it, which can happen.
Yeah, then I started watering it again. Now it's dead.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I'm quite domestic. And I'm getting better in the garden. But it's just, I don't know, with the fruits and the vegetables and stuff, not so much.
I think it can be hard. I think it'd be hard to grow a garden. It's a totally different thing than baking a loaf of bread.
It is.
Yeah. So Gemma, I have a question for you. And the question is, I have so many berries and I am not one for canning or making preserves. Is there another way I can use them?
Yes. This is what I do. Because I could have written that question. I do not can, I do not preserve stuff. I freeze. Mm-hmm. I do not dehydrate. Mm-hmm. That takes too much energy. Mm-hmm. So if you have the luxury of having a big freezer, I would say bag them. You can, often with berries, you want to freeze them flat on a tray. Mm-hmm. Once they're frozen, bag them up so they stay all individual. You can take out, and a few at a time. They're not all clumped together in one big lump, which can get kind of messy. And I use frozen fruit for the majority of our baking, for bigger, bolder baking. We use a lot of frozen fruit.
Sure, for our crisps.
For our crisps and stuff, our pies. And I will tell you, this just happened last night. We talk about this a lot, about having ready to go desserts pre-made to hand. Mm-hmm. I was cleaning out my freezers. I found a cobbler topping bag. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to use it because I was making space. We have a shoot coming up. And I went to the freezer drawer. I opened it up. I saw 2 bags of peaches and I saw some blueberries. So I put my fruit into the dish. And I didn't measure any of this. I threw in some corn flour, some vanilla, mixed them all together, and I crumbled on my top into the oven. An hour later, I had the most delicious peach and blueberry cobbler.
So satisfying. And
crisp.
You barely did anything for it.
I did nothing. No joke. It literally took me 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
So when you have them frozen like that and in their full form, mm-hmm. you have access to them all the time. Also, making popsicles, making smoothies with a child. We go through a lot of that stuff, making juices. George loves watermelon juice. And I will tell you also, I saw this Catherine McCord from Weelicious. Mm-hmm. I freeze all my fruit, but I never thought to freeze watermelon. Uh-huh. And what she does is, she had a video on her Instagram. She froze watermelon and then put it in a blender. And I always do this, but I don't do it with frozen watermelon. And she made a slushy. Mm-hmm. So like a watermelon slushy all ready to go. Yeah. I did it for George this week and he literally thought it was the best thing ever.
I think this is great because having a giant watermelon in my fridge stresses me out so much. I never know what to do with it.
We got one at Costco this week. I'm already stressed.
Yeah. It takes up your whole fridge.
There's one in one fridge and one in the other.
It was 30 pounds. I would love to. I don't even know if I could fit my watermelon in my freezer, but that's a whole other issue. Yeah. Oh, but the final note about the berries. Don't forget about fruit leather. So if you're not one for canning or anything, but you can
fruit leather. That's a good one.
We have a great recipe on biggerbolderbaking.com. You just puree that and stick it in the oven, and then that lasts, in your pantry
until it's all gone.
Until it's gone. Yeah.
Great. That was great.
I
thought it was great.
I did too.
And that's all that matters. A big thank you for those who are watching and listening to the podcast. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we'll see you back here again, same time, same place next week. From HRN and the Bold Baking Network, you are watching the Need to Know Baking Entertainment podcast.